Welcome back to Better Living. Our resident city cheerleader is here, Jeremy Baumhower from iHeartGlassCity. It was a good weekend in the Glass City, wasn't it?
It was a busy weekend. There was
well,
a lot.
Yes.
We had a lot of polarity as far as news. We had the Glass City Marathon. And if you were like me who did not run this year, and I've run in the past, and you want to be tired just by looking at the results, you can find it online and look up for your favorite people and see, who ran or who did not. I live in Sylvania, and they actually run not too far from us. And it's amazing to hear how people are affected by it. Like, oh, please, whatever you do, don't do this. But I drove by it yesterday, and the streets are just lined with people holding great signs. And I know that there was some records that fell. It was yesterday morning, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday morning.
It's Monday.
Yeah. So it's good. And then the other side of the news, we hear about Chelsea Bruck.
Yes.
And then that search is over, and how hard that is for that family, and who were so optimistic and just relentless in their pursuit. And, I was trying to explain it to my kids, and they hear about it, and they're like, well, do you think that it's like, are they just incredibly sad? And I go, I was trying to explain the word closure. Because they wanted to know what it was. I'm like, just imagine being worried about something 24/7. And closure kind of means, we all know what closure means, but to a child, I'm like, closure means it's the end of this worry, this concern. They'll be able to put their daughter, their sister to rest. It's a big family in Monroe. Just completely heartbroken. And the answer I gave them was, it's better than them not knowing and always thinking that their daughter is just missing. Now they can look for answers in other ways.
Right.
Just heartbreaking, and that whole community up in Monroe was just amazing for that family, and continue to be, and you'll need to be as they try to find out what happened.
It is very sad, but I do think that sense of closure, there has to be a tiny bit of relief, and knowing that somebody's not in pain, that somebody's not in a situation where they're, it just would be really hard for me as a parent, wondering if my child was hurting.
Or maybe you just think, that she ran away, like she disappeared, and that would hurt too.
Sure.
So, this is an awful moment, but the fact that they were able to provide closure, and the next couple of days will be very key, and then we'll see where the investigation goes. But yeah, very polar opposite news-wise for Toledo this weekend.
It was. If we go back to the marathon for just a minute, I always found when I've done a few of those.
What's the mile marker where you are absolutely questioning yourself and your sanity?
Probably like 9.
Yeah.
And I've only done minis, because I'm telling you, every time I've finished, I've thought, how in heaven's name could I just turn around and run all the way back? I can't imagine. Because when I finish at 13.1, do not leave off that 0.1. I'm finished. I am for real done. But it was always so touching to me, seeing the people on the sidelines, and cheering for you, and they'd call you by name because your name's on the bib, and I would always get kind of choked up as I'm running along.
One of my, and I said it went through our neighborhood, this woman who's on the Arts Commission with me, she had a free beer and nachos sign where she was serving out beer and nachos out of the back of a trunk for any runners, and only one stopped. Didn't eat the nachos, but had the beer. That support system from the kids, and I think especially for an entry-level marathon like the Glass City can be, it's, maybe at the beginning of the year you wanted to lose weight, maybe make a healthier decision, and I always was motivated and inspired by seeing the kids, because what a good lesson that is for your children, to show them that you can still improve and evolve, and to have them go and be a part of it, because it is a lot of work to get ready. You don't just wake up and say, I'm going to run 13.1 miles.
Or 26.2. No.
Yeah, there's a schedule for that. But it was always, for me, mile marker 10 is when my inner part of my thighs, where I realized I didn't lose enough weight, it started to chafe. And then
that's a problem.
And then they tell you about the Vaseline for the men that goes over certain parts. I'm like, it's the worst. And it's that mile marker where I'm like, this has to be the most stupidest, insane thing I've ever done for no reason. And I'm like, oh, hi, kids. Yeah.
Here's the funny part. I thought that every time I ran them, too.
Right.
It's not like I just subjected myself to it one time. I did it over and over again. In Indianapolis, it'd be the Indianapolis 500 mini marathon would be coming up probably next weekend, I'm guessing. It's always that first weekend in May. And they have the last water stop is not water, it's beer. I never once took that because the thought while I was running just was too much for me to handle.
Yeah, so many said a record amount of people out there yesterday. I think 9,000 runners.
It was a ton.
Yeah, crazy amount of runners out there. They get to experience the beautiful, they had a good morning to run. So they got to see the best part of it. But for me, I think it's a statement of the quality of people that live here. They want to better themselves. They want to, and I think as a whole we ran better. It was a faster race. But I like seeing Facebook and social media sites yesterday because people, you just see the pride that they have, and it's such an easy thing to like and to observe because it really is a dedication of time and exercise, and for no apparent reason you just decide to put on your shoes and go run the neighborhood.
Because you're insane, that's what I've decided. Yes,
temporarily insane to make yourself better, and then, you know, I don't know, I imagine a lot of restaurants were busy with celebratory lunches and beers. And what did you eat? What was your customized? What did you eat after your races?
I don't know what I ate, but I definitely had beer.
I had a lot. Yeah, ribs.
That was most important to me. I don't remember there being a specific thing I ate. Well, congratulations to all who ran it because it is definitely a great personal accomplishment. We are going to talk next about a mom makeover that Mr. Baumhower is involved in. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Better Living. Again, we're here with Jeremy Baumhower from iHeartGlassCity, and he is involved in a mom makeover of sorts, which is great for Mother's Day, right?
Well, that's the whole idea of it. It's a Mother's Day mouth makeover.
There you go.
So
that's a tongue twister.
One of the things I was writing about earlier that I'm undergoing is at a local dentist office reached out and wanted to know why I was always smirking and not smiling. So they called a meeting. They asked me if I would show up to a meeting, and I said, sure, well, you know, why not? And they liked the pieces I were writing or whatever. So I show up, and I had dental issues for a long time, and just not having insurance and able to take care of it. And I hadn't had dental insurance since I was married.
Well, and you're a dad.
Right.
So we tend to take care of our kids. You know, I've put every one of my kids in braces.
Two of mine currently are in braces. So they had asked, and I relented. I went. They're the most loving people alive. It's called Cozy Dental. And Dr. Paul is this... he's got as big as a heart as possible, and you walk into his office and it's all gadgets, and he's like ADD perfect and one of the world's leaders in these certain types of surgeries. And we start talking, and they're asking about what I do, and I said I write. And I'm like, but I have an admission. I hate my smile, and it was like one of the toughest things I've ever said. Even in a private meeting, it was really tough to say. So he was like, well, let's see what you got. Puts me in his chair. They get an idea and a plan, and immediately started making, as a way to say thank you and whatever, they started taking care of my smile. Had like a 4 or 5 hour surgery, all these different things we were in the process of. So part of that, as a way for me to help say thank you back to them, is I'm trying to spread their awareness of a campaign of what they did for me and what they're going to do for others. So for Mother's Day, they've decided to do the same thing, whatever is needed for a local mom that's deserving and might have some similar dental issues. They're going to do it. So what we're asking for right now are essays, 300 words or less, and no one's counting words, of a special deserving woman in your life who might have a dental concern, multiple dental concerns.
Something that's making them not want to smile.
Yes, and Cozy Dental, which is on Executive Parkway, and they have one out here off of Byrne, are going to pick their favorite letter, or maybe even letters, depending on the amount of work done, and going to fix some mouths for Mother's Day. So I just love that. That's something that iHeartGlassCity, my website, if you guys want to jump on board, I know it's that type of positive message that you guys are doing with promoting here at NBC 24, but just another way to do something good for others. And that's what I really liked about Cozy Dental, and it's a nice match, but I know they have like things planned for Military Day, like Memorial Day and Veterans Day. But I was just touched that it's a family practice. It's Dr. Paul and his 2 daughters, Dr. Bridget, Dr. Jackie.
And it's K-O-Z-Y.
Yeah,
K-O-Z-Y.
Yeah, Cozy Dental. Yeah. And their wife and the mom was the one who called and said, what if we did a mom thing? And I thought that was awesome coming from their mom. So yeah, we've had a bunch of response. It's really easy to enter. It's mouthmakeover@iCloud.com, and that's I as in the letter cloud.com, something like an apple. And we'll just, they'll pick their favorites and we'll do an interview process. But yeah, some smiles are going to get a bit better for Mother's Day.
I love it because it makes such a difference in your confidence.
It does.
And perhaps people wouldn't think that with you because you're very outgoing.
I still don't know how to smile. Like, I wish I could pull out my phone and just show you, like, when I'm trying to. So we did the shorties a couple of weekends ago, and kids want to take selfies. I got my camera. It looks like I'm in pain half the time as I'm trying to figure out how to smile and look better and look natural. And it's the worst process for me personally going through this, never smiling for a long time, just having a smirk and being comfortable with that. It's a tough process just to learn how to smile again. I like it, but I'm uncomfortable with it. I still am, especially when you see, I have beautiful kids, you have beautiful kids. You can take their picture one time and it's perfect. And a lot of times you see that with girls. I mean, they just pose and they don't move.
It's
and
natural.
They do that little inner leg thing and then they just snap.
You have to pop the knee. It's much more flattering.
Is that what it is,
yes,
popping the knee?
Yeah.
What was the reason for that?
It's much more flattering.
Oh my gosh. I always,
You should try it sometime.
I always wanted to start like a website of nothing where men recreate women poses.
Oh dear heavens.
Like where we just put our tennis shoes in a circle and take it over, you know, like the cowboy boot thing. But no, I'm always amazed when someone can take a good picture immediately. It's a process for me. It's like Barbara Walters getting ready for a special. It's a process. I need the lighting. I need to figure out how to relax my face. But yeah, it's
Remind me never to have a photograph taken with you.
Oh, these kids were very patient. Anybody takes them.
I probably don't have the patience for that.
And I have that burst, so on the new iPhones, you have like, you can just take a burst, and I pray, like, I just have to let them go. I'm like, okay, guys, I think one of those will do. And then I end up cropping it out, and you see my ear in a picture. But Cozy Dental is improving my smile, and I appreciate that.
I think it's a fantastic thing to do. I think that moms are probably the most guilty of putting kids first and not taking care of themselves. And I firmly believe that a smile makes you feel so much more confident. And I think it's great. Well, because it's same as the Mommy Valley growers that were just here.
Right.
The giving back to your community is so very important as a business.
Well, I think that's what's really good about Northwest Ohio. That's the one thing that we excel in. But for moms specifically, you learn how to smile from your mom. If your mom's wearing a smile on their face, the kids are going to be wearing a smile. It's about a happiness factor. And whether or not mom's ecstatic from the inside and isn't showing it outside, that's the same thing that'll kind of get carried on with the kids. So I do find it's pretty important feature for the house and completely underestimated. So Cozy Dental, mouth makeover at iCloud.com.
Mouth makeover at iCloud.com. Make sure that you nominate someone you think would feel so much better with a great new smile from Cozy Dental. They can smile just like this one.
Maybe not as creepy looking.
No, I'm sure they won't. We'll be right back.